Alright, hello again group mates, this is Brandon, and I'm presenting my final activity, a reflection on what we've learned in this class about management, both in general and in an information services context. I'll start right away by offering a definition of management and leadership and offering some comparisons of the two. Evans and Greenwell begin the text with the definition of management by Mary Parkett Follett from 1941. Management is the art of getting things done through people. What things there are to get done can, of course, vary wildly in the context, and earlier in the class I came up with a slightly more precise definition. It's the practice of directing an organization's people and resources towards a defined objective. A manager is therefore a person who practices management and has the associated privileges and responsibilities. At its most basic level, Evans and Greenwell remind us it's about people. Leadership, by contrast, is both a role and a quality. It describes the ability to guide others' feelings and passions toward an objective, persuading them to believe in their organization's mission or goal. In their chapter on leadership, Evans and Greenwell offer a list of antonyms that distinguish management from leadership. You can see that leaders have a more ideological relationship to their organization. They think about what's needed and how they might inspire people to achieve long-term goals. Managers, by contrast, are responsible for implementing whatever leaders decide must be done. Of course, a leader might have management responsibilities, and a good manager often has some of the best qualities of a leader. They're kind of intertwined roles. In terms of general responsibilities, a manager might be responsible for staffing, supervision, the structure of the organization, goal setting, financial planning, and other tasks. They're guided by the needs of staff, customers, and patrons, directors, investors, and funders. Wilkins-Jordan's 2015 survey of public library managers produced a number of common responsibilities that managers reported having. I've highlighted a few here, some of which, unique to librarianship, include programming, cataloging, and circulation, as you might expect. The survey also interestingly reports some skills and qualities that library managers described as desirable, including flexibility, customer service, conflict resolution, advocacy, and political knowledge. Reflecting on my view of management, I keep in mind that it is, at its most basic level, about people. I think managers are not only enforcers of policy and appropriate behavior, but must also be advocates for the people they manage. As a manager, you have power and authority over people. I believe it's a manager's responsibility to empower the staff they oversee, protect them from abuse or workplace mistreatment, and make sure that the mission of the organization is not achieved at the expense of their needs. My own skill set as a manager is fairly mixed. Regarding my strengths, I like to think that I'm a good enough advocate and communicator. I have decent math skills and so feel confident with things like budgets and payroll, and I also feel I'm a fairly strong writer, so things like grant writing and advocacy are pretty easy for me. In one of our weekly discussions, I mentioned that my weakest managerial skill is probably change management. I'm naturally a pretty slow and steady moving person, and I know that it takes me a long time to adjust to change. Together with my flight style of decision-making, I see a trend toward avoidance that I'll need to keep in mind whenever I'm faced with challenges. Whenever I do end up taking a managerial role, I hope to be as democratic and collaborative as possible. I want the people I'm managing to be involved in decision-making processes and have a say in how they do their work. To conclude, I see the future of library management concerned very greatly with adaptation to rapid technological change. Taliha's 2015 editorial describes the field's long history of resistance to, and ultimately adaptation to change, and offers some insight into how we might help our fellow librarians not only accept but embrace the future of information technology. The most visible trend we see today, of course, is the integration of artificial intelligence, or machine learning, into the information space. Rhode and Sehu describe some contemporary applications of this and offer a positive outlook into the potential of these technologies to increase patron access and discoverability, as well as to simplify the processes of cataloging and preservation. I have a strong interest in digital preservation and digital humanities, and I share this positive outlook. It's exciting to hope for a future where technology continues to enhance literacy, access, and information equity. And that's it. I have my references here, and thank you so much.